8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females.
Bro, what is going on with the rich? 6 men and 2 ladies. That means somebody is not with a girl, bro.
I kept it honey with you, but you lie. I kept it honey with you, but you try. Reminiscing about the time that you told me you got me, but you not even on my side.
What's good, YouTube, man? What's going on, NCL Family? I hope you had a productive day today, man. Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, road to 2,000 subscribers. I just want to put that on first there. You know, I'm very grateful for reaching out 1,000 subscribers a couple of days ago. I'll say like 3 days ago or somewhat. So I'm very grateful for that. Road to 2,000, man. If you haven't subscribed yet, man, I could tell you, we better enjoy this video. You feel me? We're bringing Diddy to the table again. If you haven't watched my previous videos on Diddy, they should be down in the description below. You feel me? You know, we just reacting to the whole case scenario that's going on. We know we keep it in tune. At the end of the day, I'm not in there. I'm not in that position to vouch for anything. But, you know, as outsiders looking in, you know, we all got our own opinions. We all got our own perspectives. And that's what we have. So grab your popcorn. This is going to be a long video. You feel me? So grab your drink, grab your popcorn, grab whatever you need to chill, relax. And let's enjoy it. As I said, road to 2,000, man. If you guys haven't like, comment, subscribe already, comment down below what you think at the end of the video. You know, your opinions on what's going on and whether you believe or you don't believe. And I'll try to interact with all the comments as much as I can, okay? And I'll give my 2 cents on it as well. Disclaimer.
His children, 6 children, are in the courtroom at this point listening to all of this. And the jury was picked knowing that they needed a certain level of comfort to hear these types of descriptions. It was very emotional and really tough to hear, bro.
Is there any message for the alleged victims? Do you apologize on behalf of your father? Do you believe your father's innocent? Do you still have your father hearing that testimony? Do you apologize on behalf of your father?
For the first time, the 3 Combs sisters appeared at the trial to provide emotional support for their father, but less than an hour later, they stood up, embraced each other tightly, and left the courtroom in tears. What exactly did the video shown at that moment capture that even Diddy's own daughters could not bear to witness?
That video is arguably the most important piece of evidence because it sets the stage when we're talking about coercion or fraud or force.
We need you to step to the side. Step to the side, please.
Yes, give us a little space. Give us a little space. Give us a little space.
In Manhattan federal court, the air was still before the trial began. Cassie presented a previously...
So, from what I'm understanding... Sorry, I'm just pausing and give my 2 cents. So, what I'm understanding is the family there to give more support. I think I'm starting to lose track of the days. Let me know what day this is for the trial. I think I'm starting to lose track on the days. But the family there to give support. And apparently, the sisters walked out, you know, not being able to bear what was being seen. Now, what was being shown, I don't know. But clearly it was enough to make the family walk out, or the sisters specifically walk out.
The unrevealed video purportedly capturing footage from a controversial freak-off holding the key to the allegations against Diddy. According to the prosecutor, the video is pivotal evidence unveiling a web of accusations targeting Diddy and secrets tied to his family. As the tape was officially admitted as evidence, the gazes among the Combs family members grew heavy, as if they knew they were about to face something irreversible. Just minutes after the video began, Delilah frantically covered the eyes of her twin sister, Jessie. Chance and Justin, however, couldn't tear their gaze from the screen where the image of a familiar woman suddenly appeared. Was it Kim Porter?
On those drives, the witness says 8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak offs or parties.
So, you want to learn how to code? Well, check out...
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
6 were males, 2 were Diddy freak offs or...
Whoa, 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 whoa. Things getting serious now.
8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females.
Damn.
The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake.
Whispers from the audience spread rapidly.
Damn. First of all, that ratio is. I'm not even trying to make fun of this situation what's going on, but bro, what is going on with the ratio? 6 men and 2 ladies. That means somebody is not with a girl, bro. I just wanted to point that out there. Hey, by all means, I'm not taking this. This is a serious, delicate situation going on. I'm just saying the ratio is not. Yeah.
Rapidly, like a wave of sound rising in the hushed courtroom. Then, without a word, all 3 left the room. The question lingers, what was revealed in that footage? And why, on their first visit to support Diddy, did they also turn and flee?
Beneath Manhattan's leaden sky,
Damn.
a bustling crowd converged on the federal courthouse where the trial of Sean Diddy Combs entered what seemed like just another day. Outside, reporters jostled for position, cameras flashed incessantly, and protest signs rose high, bearing the words "justice for the victims." Murmurs of speculation rippled through the throng, from curious onlookers to legal analysts, all sensing the weighty atmosphere before a trial promising high drama. Inside, the courtroom was packed, not a single seat vacant. Sketch artists' pens raced across paper, cameras clicked rhythmically, and the jury's gazes were steely, poised to dissect every detail. The air in that oak-paneled room felt compressed, each breath seeming to fight for existence.
The unexpected presence of the Combs family drew all eyes. For the first time since the scandal broke, the family's reserved seats were no longer vacant. Chance, Delilah, and Jessie, Diddy's 3 daughters, sat prominently in the front row, joined by Justin Dorr Combs, the defendant's son. They were impeccably dressed, their simple yet elegant attire radiating an unanticipated maturity. The girls' faces were stoic, their eyes seemingly concealing a web of intricate emotions. When the media inquired about their attendance, Chance responded with a calm but resolute voice, "We're here to support our father." Yet in their gazes, something felt unfinished, a subtle void, as if they were steeling themselves for something far weightier than their words could express.
Prosecutor Rachel Harper, a middle-aged woman with silver hair neatly tied back and thin-framed glasses, rose from the prosecution's table. Her voice resonated, deliberate yet commanding, like the steady beat of a drum heralding a moment.
Bro, what am I watching, bro? What? I ain't even got much to say, bro. I'm just trying to grasp all of this in.
This event. Ms. Deutscher, she began, her piercing gaze fixed on Cassie. Please describe to the court what has been referred to as the freak-off and your role in those events. The courtroom seemed to hold its breath, awaiting her response. Cassie drew a deep breath, her eyes sweeping the room, pausing briefly on Alex, seated nearby, his steady gaze serving as an anchor. She pressed her lips together, then began to speak, her voice low but resolute, as if each word had been carefully weighed.
I met Sean in 2005. I was 19, just signed to Bad Boy Records. He was a powerful man, an icon in the music industry. He promised to take me to the top, to make me a star. But what I got wasn't stardom, it was a trap.
She paused, her gaze sweeping across the jury, as if to ensure they grasped the gravity of what she was about to reveal. About a year after we started dating, he introduced me to what he called the freak-off. He said it was a way to unwind, to explore new boundaries. But for me, it was like a nightmare I couldn't wake up from.
What is a freak-off? The freak-off essentially was something that Cassie said she learned about through Sean Combs about a year into their relationship. He described it as voyeurism.
Cassie described the freak-offs as meticulously planned gatherings orchestrated by Diddy, where he held absolute control. He called it voyeurism. He enjoyed watching me with others, she said, her voice quivering as she recalled the traumatic memories. But it wasn't just watching. He dictated everything, what I wore, how the room was lit, what acts were performed, even the amount of baby oil we had to apply so our bodies would glisten to his liking. She explained that Diddy required her to purchase outfits from specialty stores, scanty garments, and he would personally choose which ones she had to wear.
Damn.
I had no say, she said, her eyes fixed on the jury, her voice sharpening. If I refused, he would threaten me, leaving me feeling trapped with no way out.
It depends on where the relationship goes. If it's something that you didn't want to share and it's your secret, it's your secret. I do believe in karma if you're hurting people.
According to Cassie, the freak-offs were not mere fleeting gatherings. They often lasted from 36 to 72 hours, she revealed, her voice trembling as she described the sheer exhaustion she and other participants endured. One time, a freak-off stretched to 4 days. They happened weekly, like a mandatory part of my life. She recounted her coerced role in organizing these events. I had to find people through platforms like Craigslist or professional services, she said, her eyes lowering as if ashamed of her actions. I arranged their travel to places like Miami, Ibiza, New York, Louisiana, Las Vegas. I worked with his team, pretending they were recruiters to bring people in, but it was all part of the plan he'd laid out. Cassie explained that Diddy controlled not only the participants, but also the environments where the freak-offs took place. He directed the lighting in the room, she said. At first, it was candles, creating a false sense of romance. Later, he switched to professional stage lighting, as if we were performing in a film where he was the sole director. She described how Diddy choreographed every detail, from the participants' movements to the specific acts he wanted to witness. He even demanded the use of illicit substances to make everyone more comfortable, she said, her voice choking. I remember once, before a freak-off, I had to text him to ask, "Which pill should I take from your bag?" And he replied, telling me exactly which one.
Now, with each moment, the testimony became more and more graphic. Her delivery, though, it never changed. It was matter of fact.
The trial reached its climax when Cassie's attorney, Samantha Klein, a woman with neatly tied brown hair and a piercing gaze, rose and requested to play a video. Your Honor, Klein declared, her voice ringing with clarity, we request permission to present evidence of a freak-off from 2018, labeled as the White Party Archive. The courtroom held its breath, all eyes fixed on the large screen in the corner. As the screen flickered to life, the first image revealed a lavish seaside mansion, palm trees swaying in the breeze, and neon lights pulsing through the night. Figures moved in a chaotic blur, electronic music thumping, blending with laughter and indistinct sounds.
The all-new Whoop is here.
Bro, these detailed adjectives is crazy, bro. Like, I could damn near picture what the guy is saying, because they're so descriptive. I don't even need to see it, bro. I can already picture the images in my head.
The video captured what were known as Diddy's white parties, gatherings where celebrities, entrepreneurs, and models convened to revel in a lavish lifestyle. But what unfolded on the screen was not glamour, it was the dark underbelly of these events. Familiar faces, a businessman in a white suit, a pop star with platinum-dyed hair, a model in a shimmering dress, appeared engaging in compromising acts, from using illicit substances to behaviors that crossed ethical boundaries. The atmosphere in the footage was suffocating, like a world where all rules were erased, where power and desire reigned supreme. Cassie, from the witness stand, continued to describe her role in the freak-offs. I wasn't just a participant, she said, her gaze steady yet betraying a flicker of pain. I was forced to organize everything, from recruiting people to ensuring they arrived at the right place at the right time. I worked under his direction, but I didn't want to. I was afraid that if I refused, he would release compromising videos of me. She revealed that Diddy routinely recorded the freak-offs, archiving them as a tool to control those involved. He said those videos were his insurance, she said, her voice trembling. If I didn't do what he wanted, he'd make them public, ruining my reputation and my life.
And in her words, she didn't want to do it, but she felt like she had to do it.
Gosh, so difficult to hear all of these details.
The courtroom froze when the video transitioned to a new scene. On the screen appeared a woman seated on a couch, her eyes vacant, seemingly unaware she was being filmed. Her face was painfully clear, Kim Porter, the late mother of Delilah and Jesse. Chance in the front row covered her mouth, her trembling hands betraying her shock. Delilah and Jesse, the twins who had tried to maintain a facade of strength, now sat motionless, their faces pale as wax. Delilah gripped Jesse's hand tightly, her nails digging into her sister's palm, as if anchoring her against collapse. Their eyes darted toward Diddy, a mix of panic, anguish, and indescribable betrayal, before locking onto their mother's image on the screen. The image of Kim Porter, with her hollow gaze and disoriented demeanor, was more than a mere moment in the video. It was a silent accusation, laying bare the depths of the manipulative system Diddy had constructed. Kim, once known for her strength and independence, appeared in a near unconscious state, as if drawn into a world where she didn't belong. Her presence in the freak-off footage not only raised questions about her role in these gatherings, but also stirred a darker suspicion. Was Kim's death, officially attributed to pneumonia in 2018, truly an accident, or was it the result of an intervention to silence her from exposing Diddy's secrets?
They might got into a little spat, a little fight, something went down, and Puff did that play fighting stuff that he always do, and that pillow fighting stuff, and probably smothered her.
Have a good evening, guys.
Diddy, no longer able to maintain his composure, slammed the table and stood up, his chair tipping back with a piercing screech. "Stop the video now," he shouted, his voice hoarse, eyes blazing red. "My children are here. You can't do this." But his outburst was drowned out by Jessie's stifled sobs, soft yet sharp, slicing through the air like a knife. Chance, her eyes bloodshot, sprang to her feet, pulling her trembling twin sisters and rushing them out of the courtroom. The sound of Delilah and Jessie's cries echoed from the hallway, a haunting lament that shook the room. A juror bowed their head, hand covering their mouth, eyes brimming with emotion. A reporter in the back row shook their head, whispering to a colleague, "This isn't just a trial, it's a tragedy." In the cold courthouse hall,
bro, what am I watching, bro? Damn. Bro, this is real. Bro, this is real. I feel so bad for the kid. Like, damn, bro. I ain't even crying, bro. It's just that the light, the way that, man, let me fix it, like, bro. It make y'all gonna think I'm crying and shit. Like, I don't, bro. False, bro. I'm not crying, bro. I promise I'm not crying, bro. It's just the light in my head keep getting in my eyes and stuff. But damn. I ain't even got, bro. I got nothing to say, bro. I'm just watching this with you guys.
hallway, Delilah clung tightly to Jessie, as if trying to soothe the raw pain that had just erupted. The image of their mother on the screen, her vacant, unfamiliar gaze, had pierced their hearts, shattering the warm memories of Kim Porter, the woman who had always sheltered and loved them. Delilah recalled the evenings when their mother sang lullabies, her gentle voice a comfort amidst life's storms. Jessie, tears welling in her eyes, could only whisper, "Why was Mom there?" Her question hung in the air, unanswered, met only by anguish and a growing suspicion about the father they had once idolized. Neither could bear the possibility that Diddy, who had always professed to love them above all else, might have drawn their mother into a dark world, and perhaps even played a role in her death.
We are about to play the freak-off videos, and guess who's sitting front row? Diddy's sons are in the courtroom this morning.
Diddy's attorney, Victor Langston, a towering man with salt and pepper hair and a voice like rolling thunder, rose to counter Miss Ventura. He began, his probing gaze fixed on Cassie. "You've described these events as if you were a victim with no agency whatsoever. But let's consider the context. You signed a 10-album deal with Bad Boy Entertainment. You lived in luxury apartments, traveled the world, and attended extravagant gatherings. Is it possible you willingly participated in these freak-offs to secure your place in Mr. Combs' world?" His question struck like an arrow, causing Cassie to falter momentarily. She took a deep breath, her eyes briefly meeting Alex's, drawing strength from his presence. "No," Cassie replied, her voice sharpening, her gaze resolute. "I didn't choose. I was coerced. What I received wasn't a reward, it was the price I paid to survive. He controlled everything, my career, my friends, even my thoughts. I had no choice but to follow his demands, because if I didn't, I would lose everything." Her words rang out in the courtroom like a declaration, prompting a few jurors to nod subtly, their eyes reflecting empathy. Langston pressed on, his tone lowering, as if trying to lure Cassie into a trap. "Miss Ventura, did you ever collaborate with others, such as Miss Kim Porter, to carry out these freak-offs at Mr. Combs' behest? Were you and Miss Porter willing participants enjoying the lifestyle Mr. Combs provided?" The question sent a shiver through the courtroom. The mention of Kim Porter, the late mother of Delilah and Jessie, cut like a razor, reopening the raw pain the Combs family was struggling to conceal. Cassie shook her head, a flash of anguish in her eyes.
"Look, you're not actually going to get anything done by watching."
Damn. I don't know if you, let me know if you guys could picture the images just like how I am. Because I feel like even these little sketches that they made help me could visualize the room. I don't know if it's just me. I'm probably just like that. But I could literally see what's going on, bro, although I'm not there. And, bro, this is crazy work.
"No," she said, her voice trembling yet firm. "Kim was trapped, just like me. We weren't complicit. We were victims of the same system. He made us feel like there was no way out, as if everything we had, our careers, our families, our reputations, depended on pleasing him." Her words struck like a blade, and though Diddy remained seated, his unease was palpable. A finger tapped restlessly on the table, his eyes flickering toward the empty seats where his daughters had been, as if searching for a shred of solace in their absence. The emergence of the video featuring Kim Porter, coupled with Cassie's damning testimony, was not merely a blow to Diddy's reputation, it was a dagger plunged into his deepest vulnerability, his love for his children, Chance, Delilah, and Jessie, the daughters Diddy has always proclaimed as the heart of his existence, were forced to witness their mother in a hollow, lifeless state, as if she were a casualty of the world their father had crafted. The girls' anguish, expressed through their sobs and frantic exodus from the courtroom, underscored the video's devastating impact. Their presence at the trial, precisely when the video was unveiled, sparked public suspicion. Why did Kim Porter's children appear at such a sensitive moment? The coincidence fueled speculation of a deliberate intent to target Diddy's Achilles heel, his devotion to his daughters. While Delilah and Jessie fled in tears, Chance and Justin remained composed, their cold gazes fixed on Diddy rather than following their sisters. This behavior left many wondering, do they truly believe in their father, or does their stoic demeanor conceal a profound doubt, a readiness to confront the truth? For years, the media has portrayed the Combs family as a symbol of unity, especially after the death of Kim Porter, the soul-binding Diddy and his children. Yet, when Chance and Justin appeared at the trial, their presence was not mere support, but a veil for hidden motives, hinting at a silent power struggle within the family. The quiet gazes of Chance and Justin, untouched by Kim Porter's bloodline, harbored what loyalty or a cunning scheme. Chance, Diddy's daughter with Sarah Chapman, grew up on the edge of pain. Not a child of Kim, she drifted in isolation, bereft of warm maternal memories. When Kim passed in 2018, her children clung to cherished moments, while Chance faced only a chilling loneliness. Images of Diddy doting on Kim's children in the media stirred in Chance a nameless ache, casting her as a shadow in the family's tender moments. Justin, Diddy's eldest son with Misa Halton, bore a steely resolve. Unbowed by sorrow, he forged himself into a sharp, cold strategist. Viewing the Combs family as a chessboard of power, Justin mastered Diddy's game, navigating brutal trials and scandals hushed to shield the family's name. Beneath his polished facade, those scars shaped him into a master player, ever poised to upend the board. Unlike Chance, Justin did not succumb to pain but honed his edge, observing the family's unspoken rules from youth. He saw Kim's children bask in a mother's love he never knew, yet rather than envy, he learned to read Diddy. As a father, Diddy both cherished and challenged his children, especially Justin, through fierce rivalries and cryptic tasks.
Hey, this is where we can leave it at for now. If you guys want to watch the whole video, it can be down in the comment section below. Bro, let me know what you guys think, bro. This is real, bro. Like, I like, ain't even that I'm saying it's real. Like, I didn't notice this was a real situation. There were real, people being hurt and victims. But it's just that, excuse me. It's just that, like, I don't know, I feel like me being able to picture everything that they were saying, like, the images, the sketches, the text, I'm like, bro, I feel like I'm in the courtroom today, witnessing this stuff, bro. Hey, man, road to 2,000, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys think. We're gone.